about 15 years ago. I had a minor stroke, a TIA, and obviously, was taken into hospital. Tests were done. I was released from hospital because I had no after effects from that. I was very lucky. Following that, follow-up clinic, visits and further tests, they diagnosed my condition, dilated cardiomyopathy. 15 years down the line, so 18 months ago, things started to deteriorate, as in not being able to, live a life, not being able to breathe, not being able to move. It slowly built up with me. I was having, taken into local hospital, having tests done, jiggling about with the medication. Basically, housebound, bedbound, so wasn't doing anything with the family, wasn't getting out for, to the shops, wasn't being able to go out for nice meals, wanted to have little holidays with my husband, wanted to do lots of things with the family, etc. Just weren't able to do them sort of things. That was life. I couldn't load the washing machine, I couldn't cook a meal. Basically, I was just existing. Some days I would get out of bed because, it was getting out of bed and going into another room, but just sitting there, not being able to do anything. Couldn't even wash. I didn't have the energy to even wash.
There was a whole weekend of her going to A&E every night and then getting sent home. And one night we went into A&E and he said, your lungs are failing, your kidneys failing, your liver's failing.
Because the local hospital can only stabilise you. They're not experts in this type of thing. I got to a point where I decided I need to come to Harefield, and that, my heart failure was not good, and I needed a transplant. So on doing tests here, they decided my lungs weren't strong enough for the transplant. It would have failed. So I was offered this device, which I thought would get me out of hospital, perhaps really quickly, because I'd spent, 11 weeks in hospital. That was enough for me. I just wanted to get home, because when you're away from home, the family, we're a very close family. I've got a son and a daughter, a husband who's got MS at home. He was missing me. I was worried about him, he was worried about me. And if I'm honest, his words were, he didn't think I was coming home.
When she did get here to Harefield, she was at death's door really. We were just sat in the waiting room, weren't we, with Dr. Banner, just basically waiting for him to say whether she's either going to be able to have a heart transplant or not, basically, and go home and, die comfortably.
Mr. Simon come to see me, the surgeon, and he said, basically, you can't be put forward at the moment for a transplant because your lung pressure is not very good. So that's what they found on the initial tests, like lung tests, whatever. And so, basically this is the option. You can either sit in the hospital bed for, it could be a week, 2 weeks, could be weeks, could be a couple of months, with some device attached to you, like a pump, where hopefully the pressure of the lungs would, improve. That was one option. This was the second option. The third option was like the bigger pump they actually put into the chest next to your own heart. I didn't also want the bigger pump because that meant opening my chest. And if there was a chance of having the transplant further down the road, that was going to be an open chest surgery anyway. I didn't want to give that trauma, I didn't want to have that trauma on the body, whereas this is just an incision, where they put the battery size device up here and one further down. It's amazing. And I just thought the other day, it's helped so many things. My breathing, all my swelling's gone down, it's brought my appetite back, it's given me energy, everything, it's just amazing. It's such a lovely feeling to get home, be at home with the family, and I just don't want that to change. I want it to stay like that forever. I don't want any complications, but as they say, live for today, and just be happy that you've got it and, you're living. And it's made the family a lot happier. It's made them more happy to see me like this, and especially my husband, he said, I just can't believe you're breathing, Carol. It's 100% better.
I love the Circulite device because obviously it saved my mum's life.
It's just amazing, really, it's absolutely amazing.